Hello gamers, and welcome back to another episode of Solo Spelunking. So I'm moving at a rather quick pace here because I want to continue with the storyline, and we're almost there. So we just rescued Naira, also an Eldredian Shadow Huntress, from the Empire. We got her out of a detention facility on an unpopulated forest moon in the TL1307 system in the Keldor sector, and on our way back to the ship we evaded a speeder bike patrol, but sadly we got ambushed by a large lizard creature, and Raya, she is seriously injured at 0 stamina, but she managed to stabilize. Thank God I succeeded at her role. So now we are rushing towards my ship. So Nash Duncan is carrying Raya over her shoulder, and Naira is carrying Raya's force blade. She herself has a Stormtrooper blaster rifle. And yeah, so this is where we're at, and we reached the ship. And now the question is, did the speeder bike patrol, did they discover the ship? But I'll give it a 20% chance. 20% chance that they've discovered the ship. 39. No, they haven't. So we reach the landing coordinates, and I listen if I can hear this speeder bike sound, but I can't. So the repulsor engines, thankfully. So I quickly lower the ramp, the entry ramp. Raya still over my shoulder, and I go, Naira was the name, right? Yes, it's Naira. All right, quick, get in, and I got some basic medical supplies. I'll show you where they are. See that Raya survives. She seems stable, but tend to her wounds. I will, don't worry. She's like a sister to me. Yeah, alright, so we quickly enter the ship, and I show her like the closet with basic medical supplies. So I do not have a med pack anymore because I'm out of med packs, and I don't want my ship to be like a universal bag of holding where I got everything. So med packs you need to buy, but like basic supplies, like a first aid kit on your car basically. So bandages, maybe even stuff to stitch a wound, and maybe some antibiotics to prevent infections and stuff. So this kind of things I got on my ship. It's all pretty self-explanatory, but no serious stuff like Bacta, other healing drugs, or Medipacks or whatever. But it should keep Raya stable. So I show her, so this is Raya's cabin right there. Get her inside and take care of her. I gotta get us out of here. Alright, and I head towards the cockpit while Naira, I hand Raya over to her. Please be careful. And Naira goes, I can see that she means a lot to you. That is strange. Why is that strange? Well, usually we keep our interaction with humans to a minimum. Yeah, I've already noticed that, but, well, in this case, it's different. Alright, so I gotta get going. So I head into the cockpit and do what I need to do, and then I once again take a very, very low approach and basically circle not halfway but a couple of 100 kilometers away from the base before I then finally start a rather rapid ascent then to quickly get into orbit and out of this moon's gravity well, because now I don't need to be careful or drift, because we just want to get out of here. So once again, let's see. 33% chance, 1/3. I could also use a d6, but if I roll doubles, there might be a twist. So, and I got the exceptional results here as well. So 33% chance that a flight of 2 TIE fighters, because that was what was on patrol when we entered the system, that they detected us, picked up the calls from the base, and intercept us. 33%. Oh, no, it's an 11. Which not only means, and I was just talking about it, it means not only are they moving to intercept us, but also it's a twist. But I'll deal with the twist later because I rolled doubles, so I gotta eject some randomness. But let's deal with this later. Let's get this chase over with first. So as I race for the gravity well, and now I need to get the rules out real quick. As I race for the gravity well, I see TIE fighters, and now I can clearly identify them because I'm not on passive mode or anything. I'm just going full power, full throttle, racing for the edge of the gravity well, and I can almost hear them in my head. Those 2 fighters racing towards me. Okay, so let's get the rules out real quick. And I'm using, before combat, I'm using the cinematic chase sequence that is there described in the rules. But the thing is that I am too damn slow and they're too fast, and that's the bad thing about it. Alright, so initiative, alright, distance and chases, chase scenes. Alright, let's get this up here. If you want to run a classic cinematic chase, yes, with one vessel after the other, blah blah, hot pursuit. Okay, so a moderate difficulty, which means I need 3 successes. If the player ship is faster, no, it's not, it's slower. The difference is subtracted as a penalty from the dice pool, and if it's reduced to 0, the action automatically fails. The player's ship is just too slow in comparison to have any chance of success. Alright, now let's look at the stats here. My agility is 4, and my proficiency is 1, which gives me 5 dice, and I also improved my handling. Handling is also added, so you see it here, my agility plus proficiency bonus plus item bonus. That is the standard pilot test. However, my speed is only 4, my sublight speed, and theirs is 10. So I have to subtract 6 dice from my pool because the difference is 6. And if you do the math, agility 4, piloting 1, handling 1, that is 6, minus 6, that is 0. So there's no chance in hell that I will be able to outrun these TIE fighters before they engage me as I reach the edge of the gravity well. So, but let's just say that I need to fight, because I'm still racing towards the edge of the gravity well, so I need to fight 2d3 rounds before I'm able to jump into hyperspace. 2d3 rounds, and thankfully my ship is in perfect shape. It's repaired, 20 hull, and that is 4 rounds. Alright, so let's get a little sheet ready here. This will be theater of the mind. So rounds 4, I make little circles, 1, 2, 3, 4, and I mark the circle at the start of the round. Alright, so now initiative. Let's go to the combat rules here. Initiative. The pilot of a Starfighter scale ship makes a pilot test. So it's like agility, but a moderate difficulty. I need 3 successes instead of 2 because of usually the higher dice pools, because of proficiency, which is not added for normal initiative, because pilots should have an edge versus non-pilots, and also handling. So my pool, we already figured that, my pilot pool is 6 dice. 4 plus handling plus proficiency. So I'm rolling 6 dice and I need 3 successes to go before the TIE fighters. So they've caught up with me and are in weapons range. Alright, but 3 successes, no problem. Actually, that is 5 plus 1 reroll. So I will be able to go first, and basically what this is, I'm remote controlling the turret from the cockpit. Naira is tending to Raya, and I'm just going as fast as I can, straight, heading for the edge of the gravity well, while using my turret on remote control from the cockpit to fire at the TIE fighters behind me that are chasing me. So this is how this will go. In my attack pool is my agility 4 plus my gunnery proficiency 1, that is 5, plus my fire control. Sadly, if I'm using the turret on remote, I do not get a fire control, and it's a light turret, so light weapon also plus 1 item bonus. So my attack is 4 agility plus 1 gunnery. That is 5, fire control 0, still 5, and light weapon 6. So attack 6D and pilot 6D. Alright, and my hull is 20. And my defense value in Starship Combat, to don't get the values too high, you don't use your agility. You get you get your proficiency bonus if you're trained in the piloting ability, which I am, and my proficiency bonus at the moment is 1. And you get your ship's handling, which I luckily improved, which is also 1. And you would also get shields, which I don't have yet. So my defense value is 2. 1 for my proficiency and 1 for my handling. And I could boost this doing evasive maneuvers, but then I couldn't shoot. Maybe I need 4 rounds. Maybe I will actually do that. I will see. But first, let me get the TIE fighter stats here. And they are in the bag here. So the TIE fighter, of course, is the TIE fighter. So the TIE fighter, they only have hull 4. But they have a defense value of 3 because they got a handling of 2 and the plus 1 from their pilot. So basically they're like stormtroopers in space on purpose. Alright, defense value 3, hull 4, and they all attack with 6 dice because the pilot's agility is 1, their proficiency for gunnery is 1, agility is 3, proficiency is 1, that is 4. They get plus 1 fire control 5, and they also have light weapons, dual blasters, so they attack 6 dice. Attack 6D. And there are 2 of them. TIE Fighter 1, TIE Fighter 2. And I go before. So that's the setup. So I'm just explaining so that you get an insight into the system as well. Alright, but I get to go first. So my move is clear. I just go full throttle. And now my action. So actually I'm on the fence. Do I try to do evasive maneuvers? Or do I try to get rid of one of those TIE fighters? Actually, I want to get rid of a TIE fighter because I want to, basically don't waste any time. So we are starting the first round, and at the first round I mark off one of those round circles, and I'm remote controlling the turret. It swivels around. Those TIE fighters behind me, and let's go. Oh, looking good. all successes. So that is 6 successes and 2 exploding die. Oh, this actually looks good, because just like Stormtroopers, I need a total of 7. So 6 successes already and 2 exploding die. 7 on the spot. 3, 6, 7. So they're shooting, but they don't hit as my gun swivels around. And yeah, defense 3, hull 4, and I hit the first TIE fighter directly between the solar panels in the cockpit. So the cockpit is just blown away, and those solar panels, they just drift out of control. So that's one tie down already. Whew, that was easier than I thought, but I was also lucky with my successes. All right, now it's the TIE Fighter's turn. Still the first round. They attack 6 dice. My defense value is 2. Ooh, but they are not as good, because that is 4 successes minus 2 defense from my ship. So I'm taking 2 points of damage. My hull is at 18. As my ship is shaken. So I use the intercom to talk to Naira. Hold on, Naira. We still got one on our tail. How is Raya doing? She's strong. She will survive. I got it under control. Concentrate on fighting these ties. Yeah, I will. Okay, so my turn again. Attack 6 dice. 3, 6. Okay, failure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 successes, no exploding die. So 5 minus defensive 3, that is 2. So he's at 2 hull. So I hit him, but only so he swirls away, and I just graze one of the solar panels as he returns fire. 6 dice. Attack 6 dice. Ooh, failure, failure, failure. So far 3 successes, but 1 reroll, 1 exploding die. No, failure. Alright, but still 1 point of damage, because my defensive 2 and 1 point of damage. So my hull is at 17. Okay. My turn again. Attack 6 dice. 3, 6. Okay, failure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 successes and 1 reroll, or additional exploding die. 5, 6 minus 3, that is 3. He's got 2 left. So the second shot hits him. And we're clear. Oh, and I forgot that was the second round. But we're clear because for now, no more pursuers. All right, so I'm just heading Calcareous. This is where I have been. It's the closest system. I'm just heading there. It's 1 hour. So actually it's 2.5 hours, because my hyperdrive is 2.5. 2.5 hours. For every starting 10 hours, I need to roll on it with D10. On a 1, there will be an encounter. And I still got this twist that I will think about in a minute. Let's see. Hyperspace encounter? No. Alright, so we're in hyperspace, and on our way to Calcareous, it takes us 2.5 hours, so I got some time. So I immediately, as everything is on autopilot, I immediately head towards the cabins to see how Raya is doing. But now let's look at the twist. So in the back of the Solo RPG framework, there is a random idea generator. Here, a random idea generator. And it is like this. An event or twist, you need an answered and open-ended question. They're supposed to spark ideas. So we use a D3 for the column and the D20 for the word. And let's see what we get and what we can make out of it. So it is, this one doesn't count. Column 314, debris, okay. Column 314, debris. Column 112, hooded cloak, okay. Debris, hooded cloak. And last word, 25, crystal, okay. An idea is forming, okay. Debris, hooded cloak, and a crystal. All right, so as we fly through hyperspace, I'm looking toward or looking after Raya, as suddenly the emergency hyperspace shut-off mechanism cuts in, and we are abruptly thrown back into real space. Damn, what now? And I immediately run towards the cockpit, and in front of me there's a rather large debris field. From the amount of debris and the size, it appears that it might have been a capital ship that exploded here. And I get some strange energy readings from out of the debris field, and I fine-tune my sensors and I take a look, fly closer. So I maneuver through the debris and I find a strange looking piece of, or not I find, but my sensors pick it up and I see it visually, strange looking piece of machinery half burned away, rather large, and there's a purple bluish crystal embedded in the center of this device, as if it would power the device, and it's glowing very faintly. And this is what I encounter. Okay, now the question is, am I curious and try to pick this up, scoop this up, see what it is? Or maybe I figure, well, something went terribly wrong here, and maybe whatever this is responsible for it, and I got other problems right now. And I think that is actually what Nash would do, because he does care for Raya and he wants to get her to medical attention fast, and I will not risk my ship for some strange debris. So I will just continue on. All right, so what I figured, little explanation from these three words. This was an experimental vessel, an experimental capital ship that was testing out a cloaking device which is powered by some strange crystal, or that needs some strange crystal to function. And this experiment went wrong. The cloaking device overcharged and ripped the entire ship apart, lost cause. So that was the idea that formed in my mind from these words. And so once again, what these twists are, what I like to call them, they are opportunities for interaction. They remind the player that the world revolves not around him or her, only around her or him, but also around other things, and that this is a living, breathing world. And it provides me with some background information as a GM, because you are always also a little bit GM when you play solo. So now I know that whatever power, it might be a corporate entity, it might be a well-funded planetary military, or the Empire, maybe it was even a rebel ship, a rebel corvette. Whatever the case, some kind of power is experimenting with cloaking technology. So I just make a mental note, and not only a mental note, I will update my journal after the session, and this piece of information might be something that might affect a future adventure or mission or whatever. So that's the function and the role of these twists. Does not necessarily mean all the time that there's like some danger, some combat, or some dramatic event happening. It can just be a minor detail that enriches the world and that provides anchor points for future adventures. So little side box here basically. All right, so 2.5 hours later. No, did I already roll for hyperspace encounters? Yeah, I think I did. Yeah, I think I rolled a 9. Okay, so 2.5 hours later, we arrive in the Calcareous system. We have been there before. We know it is a low security system, a wretched hive of scum and villainy. Basically, actually, this is where our adventure started. The very first season started on Calcareous when or where Nash and Raya met. Okay. Let's see. Calcareous. Calcareous Prime is the planet's capital and also the only starport. I wrote this down here. So it's got 3 million inhabitants. It's a normal, not layered city, a normal spread out city. And I've been with Raya to the watering hole cantina there. And I also had a Kubat's contact there. Okay. But for now, yeah, and I've been in the Idiot's Array Casino run by a Hutt. This was the planet where we hunted for Captain Gant and the Eldridian Data Core in the very first season of this series. And also where a Mandalorian gunslinger woman got away after we had a close and epic fight with her as well. So it might have been a or might be a future nemesis. Okay, so yeah, so it is a low security system. So by my framework, there is the possibility that something happens when we arrive in system. Since it's a low security system, there's no risk of an imperial or customs or military inspection, but we have a 3 in 6 chance that some random encounter occurs. So on a 1, 2, 3. Doesn't necessarily have to affect me, just something that occurs. Of course it does. 3. So let's check the framework again and check the system space encounter prompt. So first let's roll if it affects me on a 4, 5, 6 on a d6. No, so it's an encounter between two different things. So a descriptor object is doing something to another descriptor object. So let's see, the first descriptor object is a damaged slaver ship. Okay, a damaged slaver ship is 8, inspecting. Okay, so they probably get inspected by descriptor object. A drifting passenger liner. Okay, so let's make something out of it. A drifting. No, okay, let's do it this way. The passenger liner is damaged and drifting. It was damaged by the slaver ship, because the slaver ship, and I think I had something similar already in my, because the slaver ship, they're on the lookout for merchandise, and because this is a wretched hive of scum and villainy and basically almost like a lawless anarchy system, they probably don't fear any interference or interruption. All right, so but of course I still pick up this distress call from this passenger liner. It's like a smaller passenger liner, maybe about 20 passengers, like the equivalent, you would say, to a like a small private Learjet in our time. So not like a real bulk passenger vessel with hundreds of passengers, or like a large cruise ship. A smaller passenger liner, something like in the Mandalorian series, there was also this one episode where he had to check all his weapons, and he went on this basically like space bus, so something like that. Okay, and it is not attacked anymore because it's already drifting. There's a slaver ship. Of course, it doesn't say slaver ship on the hull, but I pick up an emergency distress call from the passenger liner. Help, help, we're under attack. Slavers are after us, please. If anybody is hearing this call, I can pay good money if you interfere. All right, damn, good money. But, okay, but, so, Naira, how's Raya doing? She is stable. She's breathing calmly and stable, but she's still out. Yeah, okay. Let's you see that she gets enough oxygen and that she keeps breathing. There's a little trouble here on our approach. Bunch of slavers picking on a passenger liner. Actually, my ship is in good shape. And I can use some extra cash for repairs and upgrades. So I'm thinking about engaging them. Well, you got my sympathies. Slavers are the worst kind of scum. Don't worry about Raya. She's fine. She's strong. And once I'm rested a little more, I have other means to help her. Yeah, I think I got an idea what you mean. I've seen these strange powers on Raya. Yeah, then you know that she's in good hands. All right, then I'll deal with the slavers. Okay, so let's say the slaver ship is a modified freighter because they need room for, of course, the slaves. So let's see. Okay, so the hull. Damn, 20 hull, but I can always disengage. So hull, they have also 20 hull. I'm at 17 hull at the moment. Yes, hull 17. Okay, so their handling is 0, but they got shields +1, and they got also the pilot +1. So their defense value is 2. And the pilot, or the gunner, he's got ability 3 or agility 3 and proficiency 1, that is 4, and fire control, that is 5, and they have medium weapons, so that is 7 dice. Attack 7 dice. Okay, but I got the initiative because they don't expect that someone engages them and their attention is focused on the passenger liner. So as they're preparing to dock with the disabled passenger liner, I approach, and while I approach, I fire. So 6 dice. 6 dice. Ooh, but 2, so those 2 are failures, but they are compensated by these 2 6s. So far 4 successes, 5 successes. Minus 2 defense, that is 3 points of damage. So their hull, the slaver ship's hull, goes to 17. Okay, and I go first. I've established this, Nesh, and then the slavers. Alright, so now I'm hailing the passenger liner while I'm shooting. This is the versatile rust bucket. Nesh Duncan speaking. I'm assisting you, and I hope you make good on your promise and transfer some credits afterwards, if I make it out alive. And any assistance you could provide is greatly appreciated. Okay, so 7 dice. 3, 5, 7. So 3, gallery 3, 4, 5, 7. Yeah, okay. But lucky, no. Failure. 2, 5 successes minus 2 defense value from me. That is 3 points of damage. But still, hull goes to 14. Alright, my turn again. Come on, Nesh! So 4 agility, 5, 6. Yeah, I'm missing my fire control, so 6 dice. Come on, Nesh. Roll him. Oh, this is stupid. Damn it. 2 and no 4, so 2 damage. Hull goes to 15. So I make another pass. And they retaliate. Okay. Okay, failure. Oh, great. 3 successes only. No exploding dice. 1 point of damage. That's a good one. Okay, so my hull is 13. So I might, if I get a good hit in now, maybe they think it's not worth the trouble. Come on, Nesh, I need some exploding dice. Exploding dice, come on. Yeah, 2 failures, but 2 exploding dice. So that is 4 successes. Come on, give me exploding dice and successes. 4. 2 ones, damn it. But 2 points of damage still. Okay, so their hull goes to 13. So we're matched hull-wise. 13. And I'm also at 13. And it's their turn to retaliate. 3, 5, 7 dice. Okay, failure. 2 failures, but 2 exploding. Damn it. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 7 successes. That is 5 points of damage. All right, that's it. I'm out of here. Okay. So I'm at 8 hull. And I'm out of here. So I'm, instead of my action, I'm taking a double move basically, and I'm breaking off yeah, maybe the passenger liner, maybe they got away, maybe they didn't. So I'm breaking off and I'm heading straight towards the atmosphere. All right, the question is, do they give chase or do they continue and try to get the passengers? I think the passengers are more valuable as slaves, so I say only a 30% chance that they give chase. 30%. But you know my luck. Doesn't count. 46, lucky. All right, so I break off combat. I head straight for the atmosphere. Of course, I do not get paid because I didn't destroy the slavers. And yeah, damn. But such a good hit, I can't risk it. So luckily, they do not pursue me. They, yeah, they go and pick on the passenger ship again. All right, so we land, but thankfully I still got some money. We land. I got 3,900 credits, and Raya's got 7,000. So I have to pay a landing fee. It is not that much here. It is 200 credits. So I'm at 3,700. And nobody wants to see any ID or wants to see what I'm carrying. Nobody cares. So I'm landing my ship in Calcareous Prime, the only starport on the planet. Yeah, Calcareous Prime, 3 million inhabitants, and set down there. Let's determine the time. 1d20 plus a d4 in hours. All right, so it is 3 a.m. local time, so in the middle of the night. Okay, so I just put down arrive Calcareous Prime. 03 a.m. And I put a note in here, slaver battle and cloaking experiment debris, just for me as a reminder what happened, for future reference. Okay, so it is 3 a.m. in the morning. But Calcareous Prime is also a city that never sleeps, because it is a wretched hive of scum and villainy, and there's of course casinos and entertainment and stuff. So let's pull out the pictures that I had when I first started this as well. So just for the atmosphere, the flavor, and the fluff. Yeah, so this is like the so this is how the alleyways look in Calcareous Prime at night, in the various entertainment, gambling, and nightclub districts and whatever. So 3 a.m. in the morning, we sit down. All right, so Naira, what about these abilities you spoke of? I think I can try. I've used the time in hyperspace to meditate, to become one with, well, to regenerate. Let's put it this way. And OOC, so she also has 2 force points. She was tapped out, and I say she regenerated 1 now, and she's using it to do some sort of force heal. So it is an intelligence roll, and she gets 2 additional dice because she's got intelligence 2 and 2 dice for the force point she spends. And I'm saying that every success, so this is like sort of a little bit like a free-form force kind of thing here. Every success is 1 hit point that Raya, or 1 stamina that Raya regains. Oh, this looks good. 3 successes and 1 exploding die. So 3. Ah, damn, it stays at 3. But, so, 3. Okay, and, yeah, so Raya, she opens up her eyes, and she looks at me. And so just for context here, so she's in her cabin on her bed, and of course she's not wearing her armor. So actually she is, but of course Nash is a professional, he doesn't look. She is dressed only in her underwear, and I'm not going to show you because I don't have a fitting picture, but she's dressed in her underwear, but of course covered with a blanket, and her wounds are cleaned and bound, and because she had a gashing wound from this claw, and it's been stitched. So she looks up and she sees Naira, who still looks like this. She didn't have the time yet to get some clothes on and get changed. And she sees me, and we are basically left on and right from her bed. And as she opens her eyes, I am very relieved, and so is Naira. Whew. Thanks, she just says, and whoever it was she was thanking. And Raya goes, what happened? Well, I'm trying to make some wise-ass remarks. As always, you were rushing headfirst into battle against a giant lizard creature. Does that trigger any memories? Can you remember? Yeah, I can't remember. So how long was I out? Where are we? What is going on? Relax, Raya, relax. We are safe. We made it out of the system, but not without fighting off 2 TIE fighters. And now we are back in Calcarius Prime. Remember Calcarius, the system where it all started, where we first met, where you hired me for our first job? That's where we are. It was the closest planet, 2.5 hours. We got into a little skirmish again, approaching the planet with some slavers that picked on a passenger vessel, but sadly I couldn't. I did all I could, but I took a bad hit and needed to get you to safety. I really need to get this bucket upgraded. Okay. And she looks at Naira. And so we did it, actually. Yes, Raya, we did it. Naira is safe. We're in Calcarius Prime. And you made it. It was very close. I thought I'd lost you. I had to carry you to the ship. You were out cold. And as if that was a reminder, Naira takes the force blade handle that I got, that I gave to her because she had to carry it, and passes it over to Raya again and goes, here, I took care of it for you. Thank you. And she, even though she's in her underwear, but she just takes it and puts it on her blanket and just leaves her hand on the handle as if it gives her some sort of peace and calmness. And then she looks at me and at Naira, and then she goes and talks to me. Please, Nesh, could you excuse us for a minute? Of course. I'm just glad to see that you're all right again. So while you two are talking, actually it is in the middle of the night and this is a rough place. I would have said I get out and get some med packs, but... And she goes, that is not necessary. I can manage. I will be fine tomorrow and then we'll go together. I know that this place can be a little rough. Yeah, all right. So I leave you two to it. So, and I leave them. So they have some sort of Eldridian stuff to discuss. And yeah, after a while, Naira, she comes out of the cabin and I go, well, Naira, of course I got a cabin for you too. And there's also some clothes you could use, some clothes of mine, obviously. But I think they might fit, or at least they look better than what you're wearing right now. I think you need to get your, what do you call it? Leaf skin armor? Yeah, right. So you seem to have learned a lot about our culture. Well, actually, I haven't. You know, Raya, she is pretty private. She hasn't told me yet where she's from or what species she belongs to, but I respect that. I don't want to pry. I get the feeling that you have your reasons to stay out of galactic affairs, especially with the Empire and everything. Yeah, that is true. But who knows? She looks at me. Like I said, it is unusual for someone of our people to interact with a human so long and so, I would say, intimately. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. There's nothing going on here with intimacy. I don't mean in a bodily sense. I mean basically you live together. She goes, well, we're a crew. I mean, it's a deal. I fly her around when she needs to go on her missions, and if she doesn't go on her mission, she supports, or she she helps me with my stuff. You know, she's become a capable gunner. And in a fight, it makes a hell of a difference if you got a gunner in your turret. See, so as I can see it, or as far as I see it, we both win. Because she told me she actually hated space flight, and she always has to look for a pilot when you guys go on your missions. They probably take you everywhere. And as a matter of fact, she hasn't even told me what exactly it is you're doing or what this order is you belong to. So you can be assured that I know nothing that might endanger you. But I figured, well, so why not just cut out this looking for pilot stuff and basically use me, if you want a word, as, or let's put it this way. Let's say I'm a permanent employee that carries her around when her mission's needed, and if they don't need it and she's not on a mission, she travels with me while I'll do my stuff, and she assists me in my, I wouldn't call them assignments, let's say in my ventures. And Naira, she smiles a little. She's got this like a knowing smile as if she knows more than I do. And she goes, well, then it looks like you got it all figured out, you two. And with that, is that my cabin, you said? Yeah. And then she heads into her cabin. But seriously, she comes closer. Thank you. Thank you again. And I just go, no problem. I guess that's what we do now. Yeah. So she goes into her cabin. And yeah, so I go back to Raya. Come. And I enter. Well, Raya, Naira, she's turned in. I showed her her cabin and gave her some clothing. And is there anything you need still? Because or you need? Because if not, I would turn in to catch some hours of sleep, so that we are fit in the morning for whatever it is that needs to be doing. Thank you. I'm perfectly fine. And she looks at me, and her gaze lingers a little bit on me, and she goes, I wouldn't be fine if it weren't for you. And I just go, well, I can say the same thing. We made a good team. I could have never done it without you. And she goes, well, without me, you wouldn't have had to do it. Yeah, whatever. Let's just get some rest and get you all fixed up in the morning. Okay, so I also rest, and finally we get in a nice night of rest, which means our stamina is completely regenerated, because if I'm not mistaken, it regenerates overnight, because it's a heroic system, and I like that. And also, so everybody rests, and also the force points regenerate. And yeah, and then we are basically fit. Oh wait, Nash. So 14. Yeah, that is no. Oh yeah, 14 because I gained a level. Okay. Yeah, because it is. I had 12 and I gained a level and I added 2 stamina, so I'm at 14 max. And Raya is at 17 because she got 9 plus 6, that is 15 plus 2, yes, 17. Okay, so better put also these. And Naira, actually, she's like a min-max character. She's got strength 4, agility 4, intelligence 2, cunning 2. And she's level 1, so her strength is 12 plus 6, that is 18, her stamina, not her strength. So she's also at 18 now. But it is the next day, as we all meet again on board our ship in the galley, and then Naira goes, well, it is time to part ways now. And Raya, who actually looks rather fit, and she's wearing her ship suit again, which is this one. Let me get the right picture out. So she's not in her armor, she's in her basically body glove undersuit. And she goes, are you sure? Yeah, I'm sure. And I know what to do. I got to contact, you know who I got to contact, and report on my mission I had before I was caught by the Empire. Thank you again for your service and effort. It is not forgotten. And then she says something in this melodic alien voice to Raya, who responds, some Eldridian stuff. And then they again make this Eldridian underarm handshake and mumble some Eldridian basically farewell phrase, whatever. And then Naira leaves. And then it is just us again. And let's say, all right, so it's maybe like, I don't know, let's say it's 11 a.m. now, because it was 3 a.m. when we landed and we needed some sleep and everything. So it's 11 a.m. On Calcareous Prime. And she goes, she looks at me and goes, well, I also have to report to my employers and report on our mission and report on our success. But there's one other thing. There's something I want to share with you. Can you meet me tonight in my cabin? In your cabin? I go. Yes, in my cabin. 6 o'clock? Yeah. Okay. Then, and till then, well, I got some things that I need to take care of with my employers. I also need them to wire us some funds. She smiles because I know we made like this deal, but you are right. Your ship needs upgrading, and if I would have hired you as a pilot, you would have gotten paid anyway. So I just don't need to do the hassle of hiring you anymore. But my organization, they provide me with the funds needed to complete my missions. So as far as they are concerned, you're just a pilot that I hired that put his ship on the line and that needs to get paid. Okay, well, I wasn't expecting that, but indeed, I mean, you've seen that these missions are time sensitive and my hyperdrive is slow. So I need the hyperdrive upgraded. I think it benefits both of us. And some more sublight speed also wouldn't hurt. So with what I've got so far, I have no chance of outrunning Imperial TIE fighters. They're just too fast. Yeah, we will see about that. Let's see how much I can get them to wire over. All right. So, yeah, while you do that, I, like I said, my ship, it's got some damage and I need to get repairs set up. All right, then. Okay, so, yeah, I do that. She does her thing. And actually, I do not want to play this all out because I want to get to the thing, because of course I thought about this, what would happen after the mission, and you know, the affection points and stuff, and I figured this mission is worth at least 2. I mean, we did this thing together, so that would be 1, and then I again saved her life, that would be another 2. So I think this whole thing would be worth 2 at least, but maybe 3. So let's say 3, so that will get me to 13 from the 12 I need. So actually I am 1 point over, so but that's not an automatic thing, but it triggers some change in behavior. And this is what I thought about, and this is what I'm eager to conclude this character development arc. So it is 6 o'clock, 1800 hours. As I'm a little curious. I don't know what exactly it is that she wants. As I knock on her cabin door, and she says in a calm voice, "Enter." And as I enter, I see her like this. So she is actually meditating. So she's sitting on her bed bunk, and let's see, can you see this? I think so. She is meditating, and she looks exactly as she looks there. So she's just wearing, basically sort of like underwear, so like a tight tank top and shorts, and she's sitting on her bed, and she's indeed has some candles there, and she is meditating still. So she's got her eyes closed, so it is as if she I don't know, is going through some sort of ceremony or whatever. And and I stand there in the door, and this is totally unexpected. And then she takes a deep breath, and she opens her eyes and says, "Come, step in." And I step in, okay. And then she stands up. She stands up, and I can't help it, but let me get this picture up. She actually looks nice. So she stands up in her meditation outfit, and I just stand there, and this is kind of strange because there are like these candles, and she was meditating, and this is like, I got this feeling, that this is like a very personal thing. So I've never seen her like this private, like meditating and in her cabin. And then she just walks up to me, and she stands before me, and then she stretches out her hands, and she goes, "Give me your hands. Put your hands in mine." Okay. Please trust me. This is important for me. Okay. So, and I put my hands into hers, and she looks at me, and then she says a sentence in her melodic voice, in her alien language that I can't understand, but I do hear my name at the beginning. So it goes Nesh Duncan, and then she says a phrase in her language. And while she says it, she looks at me, and then she says, I think, the same sentence again, because it's got like the same tone. And she goes, "Nesh Duncan, you have fought with me." And then she says another sentence, again in her voice, her language. And then again she seems to repeat it, looks at me and goes, "You have bled with me." And then again a sentence in her language. And she's completely, she looks completely serious about it. And then she says, "You have killed with me." And then again, a voice or a sentence in her language. And then she goes, "You have triumphed with me." And again, sentence in her language. And then she goes, "You have earned my trust. I want you to know me. And then again, a sentence in her language, and I think I hear her name. And then she says, I'm Raya, Cloud Shadow of Eldred. And then again, sentence in her language. And then he goes, Eldridian Shadow Huntress of the Council of Elders and your companion in battle. And I'm like, I'm totally stunned. I was not expecting this. So obviously now she is opened up to me. She just told me her full name, like her true name, and what species she is and where she's from. And I go like, Raya, sorry, I need a moment to process this. This was totally unexpected. And she goes, indeed it was, not only for you, but also for me. I would have never thought that I would share this with a human. It is sort of like an Eldridian bond with or between warriors. And like I said, you have earned my trust. I want you to know who I really am, what I am. Whew, I really appreciate this. Totally unexpected. It was important for me. Yeah, I figured that much, and I'm really actually I'm really grateful. I don't know. Maybe this is like a human thing, but now that you've shared this with me, what do you say? Dinner in town. All right, and this is where I will end this, because obviously, Nash is totally caught off guard and he didn't expect this at all. But I figured it was a cool thing. I got like this inspiration a little bit from the Avatar movie. And also, of course, like from this Eldridian culture where like fighting together, hunting together, facing death together is at least what these shadow huntresses value. And so I really wanted to complete like this arc of character development, which I did. And we will see what the future brings for these two. Some cash, and maybe before the council is asking stuff again, maybe we can go on 1 or 2 smuggling missions. But first I need to get also my ship fixed. So yeah, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this episode. And yeah, I will see you in the next video, which, just for variety's sake, I will be continuing my Defenders of the Shadowlands campaign, the second campaign. So stay tuned for that. And once again, if you like what you saw here, please do subscribe, leave a like, and as always, stay safe, stay healthy, and I will see you in the next video. Bye bye.